Afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Mayegun live. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. As usual, kindly share this broadcast. That means after reading the caption of the broadcast, the description of the broadcast, like the broadcast, then share it. So invite your friends and your not so friendly friends and tell them that Mayegun is live. Mayegun today. So tonight we are starting from a not so new kind of admittance or revelation coming from one of Bokwari's ministers back then, Solomon Dalung, a few days ago, right? In the movement, or should I say, in the groove of the Yoruba uproar, we have heard from different characters speaking on behalf of the North or on behalf of Hausa, or you know what I mean. So the recent one is that of the concerned Northerners, an hypocritical gathering of hypocrites. Hypocritical gathering of hypocrites. I don't know, that should flow, right? We're Najatu Muhammad, a Fulani, as well as Solomon Dalung, who is from the middle belt part of Nigeria. I forgot the name of his tribe, so to say. On the day when they were reading out conditions, terms and conditions for Nigeria, if Northern Nigeria will continue to be part of this union or not. That northern part of Nigeria that they sort of claimed to be so concerned about. So, I mean, that included the middle belt part of Nigeria. It is that northern Nigeria that the terrorist, Fulani terrorists, ransacked 5 communities and killed 12 people, even though that is just the official number. So, brethren, let me kind of take us a little bit on a little kind of like a little bit of a journey or memory lane, as some would like to call it. Before APC, yeah, the problem of Fulani terrorism that we are kind of like suffering today from every corner of that contraption today was almost non-existent. And it's not that it never existed, but back then, right, indigenous people from like across Nigeria, they were able, over time, they were able to ward off these marauders. They were able, right, to kind of like defend themselves until APC, Egbekegbe, took over power. And slowly, steadily, they started disarming the people in some areas, right? They even allow these coordinated, organized Fulani terrorist attacks. They will allow it to happen. You see, in the southern part of Nigeria, okay, when we say southern part of Nigeria, we're talking from Oyo State down, as well as from Kogi State down south. You'll be talking about southern Nigeria. Ours was like also a coordinated one, because for the people of the middle belt part of Nigeria, this is how it all started. First, they started attacking farms, and farmers were being slaughtered. And in some places, they would actually come in the middle of the night, okay, ransack some farming communities, kill as many people as possible, to the point that they turned the middle belt part of Nigeria to burial ground part of Nigeria. In a space of 2-3 years, Fulani terrorists, well organized, coordinated with the backing of APC, Egbekegbe's government. So just like that, they announced their arrival on the scene. And slowly, steadily, they were destroying Nigeria food, production system. That is, they started destroying your farms where you could grow your food. Chase as many farmers as possible to the IDP camps. While all these were going on, if you remember, it was Bukwari's government who came out and told us that these guys killing Nigerians, they were not Nigerians. They were from Niger, Chad, Mali, Libya. In case if you have forgotten, this was the primary argument of the APC. While these terrorists kept, expanding and spreading, and the same modus operandi. So within 5-6 years, they've succeeded in destroying food production in Nigeria totally. That it will take you probably another 20 years of, uninterrupted peace, where the Fulani terrorists will be designated as terrorist organization. And you see, when this started, when it all started, when the victims were given their accounts of what they really encountered in the hands of their attackers, APC, Ebekebe, Bukwari's government, they kept the campaign of gaslighting the people that we shouldn't call them Fulani terrorists, we should call them bandits. They coordinated with the media. I'm talking about the terrorists that came to attack the source of food of the people. They actually came to wipe you off the surface of the earth. That's what I believe. The government of Nigeria treated them. The murderous regime of Bukwari treated them with so much levity, or kid gloves, right? That they started negotiating for them, asking us to learn how to live with our killers. And that, again, right, didn't happen just overnight. From they were not Nigerians, so we should stop calling them Fulani terrorists. We should start calling them bandits. So, the reason why they are fighting or killing people was because of their cows. How could you come in the middle of the night to wipe out an entire village and say you are doing that because they denied you the access to feed their farm produce to your cows? How is that sensible? And when all this, like I said, when some of these attacks were happening, the Nigerian system actually allowed them to happen. You get that now? Like people were calling or sending out SOS to the supposed security agent, right? Hours after hours, sometimes for days, there will be no single response, right? Until the terrorists are done. In some places as well, these Fulani terrorists, while the Bukwari's government continue to gaslight us, blackmail us on why we should give our lands to them. This was how they became Nigerians. Oh. Remember, there are Fulanis. There were Fulanis in Nigeria before these terrorists started this their sponsored terrorism. There are still Fulanis in Nigeria when they are doing all this terrorism. And guess what? There was none of them that actually really came out genuinely to say, well, this is wrong. These guys were not Nigerians. How could somebody who is a Fulani, think about this, somebody who is a Fulani from Sokoto, for example, if he's a Fulani from Sokoto, that means he was born in Sokoto, Abi. So if he decides to start a business or a cow business or whatever it is, a ranch, he should be able to do that in Sokoto where he is born. Why should somebody that was born in Sokoto, a Fulani man from Sokoto, is fighting for land in Oyo? A Fulani man from Sokoto is demanding land in Imo for his cows as the only factor for peace. How is that possible? I mean, we don't have Yoruba men harm themselves and decided to jump into the forest of, to the forest of the Biafrans and start kidnapping the people and killing their farmers and raping their women and demanding that the only the only road to peace would be for them to give them lands so that they can create their own local government areas, Yorubazo, in Owerri, Imo, or Ebonyi, or in all of these places in eastern Nigeria. Or you've seen, we've never seen the Igbos, who are practically business people, right? We've never seen the Igbos organize themselves and bombard the northern part of Nigeria, like, the Sokoto, Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, Jigawa, and all these places, Yobe, right? And you have the Igbos, armed Igbos, start killing the locals, indigenous people, because they need land. We don't have that. Only one tribe, one ethnic nationality, the Fulanis, have been doing this to the rest of us. And the government of the contraption was asking us to, don't react anyhow, okay? These people are not Fulanis. These people are, they are just Fulanis, but they are not representing the Fulani. I say, well, it is too late, my dear. It is too late now, because we now have the victims who would have to live with the trauma that these guys have inflicted on them for the rest of their lives. But there are those, again, this is where their hypocrisy also comes in, all right? People have been so, traumatized. People have been so, terrorized enough that they actually know that there is nobody coming to their aid. Nobody's coming to save them. They do know that. And that is why the rotten and broken system, right, has created monsters. Monsters that we all have become, in case if you don't know. In Nigeria today, right, starting from the real victims of this terrorism, okay? You see the victims of terrorism, and you see the news. 15 people killed in Bokos. 45 people killed in 30 people killed and all that. So what people just listen to that and just be like, okay. No, Mayogun, what is the latest? Like, what's his name? Say, Baba, you don't understand me. The terrorists, they killed 80 people in Katsina. What do you mean, No, I thought you wanted to tell us the other stories and all that. Because it's like people have become so, they have grown so, what do you call it? Like they've grown to become so indifferent, so cold over time. So that is why when you see some of the reactions of people to the mobbed Hausa hunter or traveling Hausa hunters, right? In Koto, because there are so many people who just, Benny, they are not hunters, because that is who we are. That is what the APC have turned us into, the indigenous people of that contraption. It's going to be like you don't even have human feelings anymore. I don't get feelings, so I know, because that's exactly what they have done. So over time, they've normalized abnormalities enough that people are now speaking based on their biases. Here you get now. Like, oh, you are a Yoruba man. What is your business? At least, nobody has kidnapped you now. Has any member of your family been kidnapped before? Blah, blah, blah. I said, no, they haven't. Said, why are you so serious about it? Because that's what they have turned us into, indifferent people. If it never happened to me, maybe it's not happening. Again, their biases. There are those who are actually either looking forward to benefit from the illegitimate regime of, the murderous regime of Bokwari, the illegitimate regime of Tifnumbu. There are those who are looking for, so they will give you reasons why you should not become Fulani-phobic. Here you get. And suddenly, some Fulanis in Nigeria are now feeling like they are endangered species. You see, Bokwari is no longer there, by the way, right? So now they feel like, oh, the atrocities of the Fulani terrorists, they don't want you to even call them terrorists. The atrocities of these bandits, you want to blame it on Fulani? What do you mean? Can we blame armed robbery on the Yorubas? Can we call another tribe to be? Say, shut up your mouth, you mofo. There is no Yoruba. There is no other tribe in Nigeria currently, right? Slaughtering people the same way the Fulani terrorists are currently doing, where every tribe, including the Hausas, these Hausas that some of these, mixed, Hausa Fulanis, right, wanted you to believe that they are on their side. Even the Hausas themselves, they have been slaughtered by these same Fulanis. Yeah? So to Tifnumbu, to Ribadumbu, to some of these guys, the insecurity is not that bad. Not that bad, Tifnumbu has kind of like, Tifnumbu has defeated the terrorists enough that everywhere is safe. You can travel from Kaduna to Abuja now with nothing. So back to Dalung. So Dalung was called into that group to come and condemn, the Uromi 16. And therefore calling, and then they now give ultimatums, right? Like, oh, we give you until so and so. Then another one, it's also got to a stage of them saying, maybe they are going to throw in the towel in this union. Mokuku break everything up. Everybody will go their separate ways. So, you keep going and keep going. You, Mr. Dalung, have you heard that they have killed 12 people in Bokos, Plateau State, yeah? Bokos local government, where you, Mr. Dalung, the state you come from. That was what you came to that studio. And he said a lot. And because he's so, I want to use the word afraid, or scared, he's afraid to actually call out the name of the terrorist ethnic nationality in Nigeria, creating this level of division, level of poverty, insecurity in that contraption. Because you need to understand, Nigeria wasn't a great place. And there have always, I mean, there have been always like, terrorists in the, poverty in that contraption. Or you know something, majority of the people could still, right, feed themselves than the number you have there today, living in abject poverty. And when you go check the reason for some of this poverty, the primary of it is that those who could fend for themselves, I'm talking about the ones below the food chain, right? Those who could fend for themselves with small-scale farming here and there, it's either they have been killed or they have been chased to IDP camp, or they have run for their lives. And today, right, they are among the people or mouth that needed to be fed. Unfortunately, the farms growing the food continue to be attacked and destroyed by these terrorists. So Dalung had this to say, but unable to mention Fulani. Can you believe that?
Let me begin by sending my condolences to the people of Plateau State, Bokos local government, to be specific, and the entire nation. It is indeed very unfortunate that every day human lives had been reduced to mere statistics. The security challenges on the plateau has been around with us for over 2 decades. It started around 2001, and the victim community was my own very community, the Tarok people. We spent 3 years without even going to farm, coming under incessant attack and marauders. Thank God after some time, we were able to stabilize, organize ourselves, and repelled the marauders, and we recorded some stability. But since then, the Plateau community has remained victims, moving from one community to the other, from the southern part of Plateau to the northern part. And it appears to have been domesticated now in Bokos local government. From the report I gathered about what happened, is that there is an established terrorist enclave within that local government. And an attempt by the security to repel them, disperse them, now resulted into this carnage where over 100 and something communities have been ransacked, killed. So it's quite unfortunate, but why do we continue to have this recurrence decimal and the same music of, oh, we're on top of the situation, oh, government is aware? I think basically what has fueled the Plateau situation is the absence of justice. In all the Plateau crisis, there had been several commission of inquiries. This commission of inquiries indicted non-persons over the years. None of them had been prosecuted. Some of these terrorists, they unleash havoc and kill people. Those that are arrested, taken to court. The following day, they are granted bail, or thereafter, they are granted bail, and they are back into the community again. So we are ruled by impunity, and there seems to be no political will to deal with the situation, because I believe that it is only when justice is administered to the various commissions of inquiries reports that are rusting in the government libraries, we will not see an end